Millennium Science Initiative program.
I am called Dorothy Asile James. I am a curriculum specialist in charge of chemistry at National Curriculum Development Center. Thank you.
I'm in handmade paper technology in collaboration with the Uganda Industrial Research Institute. I'm very pleased today.
Okay, you're most welcome. The next person to give us remarks is the ATPS National Coordinator, Mr. John Okwanzi. You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, he has already introduced me. My name's, people call me Okwanzi John. I am the National Coordinator for African Policy Studies Network, Uganda chapter. At the same time, I'm also a lecturer in Kyambogo University. I am a scientist, and today we shall show to you a little bit of what scientists do. That's why we're here. Now, first of all, I would like to salute all of you who are present here today in your respective capacities in the participation of this National Science Week. Now, as part of the events of the 2010 Uganda National Science Week, and in commemoration of the African Scientific Revival Day, the African Policy Study Network, Uganda chapter, has partnered with the Uganda National Council for Science and Technology and Cafe Scientific Uganda, among many other activities, to host the scientific debate for secondary schools today. Now, the theme, as he had clearly pointed out, is socializing science and technology today for sustainable development tomorrow. Before I actually talk about the theme of today, I briefly want to talk about what ATPS stands for. As you already had, ATPS is African Technology Policy Studies Network. Now, this is a multidisciplinary network of researchers, practitioners, and policymakers that promote science, technology, and innovations, research policy, dialogue, and practice for African development. Okay? We have the regional secretariat at Nairobi, and we operate through chapters in 23 countries in Africa. Now, we tend to cover the whole of Africa, and Uganda is one of the most active national chapters. Now, ATPS organizes and implements science and technology capacity building programs at the regional and national levels. All the programs address science and technology capacity building to Africans and by Africans. Okay? So, our programs are integrated, and the main programs we actually are science and technology knowledge generation, science and technology knowledge brokerage, science and technology knowledge dissemination, science and technology outreach, and policy advocacy. And also, we try to value what science can do for us. Now, the main mission of ATPS is to improve the quality of science, technology, and innovation systems, research, and policy making in Africa by strengthening the capacity for science and technology, knowledge generation, communication, and dissemination, and the mastery for sustainable development in Africa. Overall, the objective of ATPS is to develop Africa's science and technology capacity today for sustainable. Against this background, that we chose the theme that socializing science and technology today for sustainable development tomorrow. So we want to bring science, not only remaining among the scientists, we want to bring it to the community, to everybody, so that science becomes every aspect of our life. Now, the idea of the theme was born out of the emergence of the strong awareness of the role of science and technology as the engine of development in Africa, with the help and the involvement of Africans. Now, indeed, science and technology can become the backbone of employment and creation and economic development in Uganda and in Africa. This completely actually agrees with the theme for this Science Week, which is science, technology, and innovation, the strategic interventions for the prosperity for all. Now, one of the strategic interventions is to bring the science manifesto. Instead of talking about the political manifesto, for us we want to bring the science manifesto. So in your schools, please go and create the science manifesto, all right? Now, commemorating or observing the African Scientific Revival Day actually means that the African continent has had a history and a tradition of science and technology. You know that from your studies that actually the first man was in Africa. If you read this history in Egypt and so on, there are serious scientists there. Okay? So we had a history of science and technology. So the revival here simply means that there has been a time, or one or the other scientific Africa that needs to come alive again. So we need to bring back, we need to revive our scientific background and bring it in the community. Now, this begins by us all here in participating in science activities. And to borrow from our brother, the President of US, Mr. Obama, he said, yes, we can. Yes, we can take science to everybody. Yes, we can make science to become part of all of us. Yes, as scientists today, all of you who are here, we need to show the way. We need to take science to the community. And we can do that. At the same time, involving all the scientific community to take the science agenda, everybody. We are therefore trying to lay science manifesto to bring everybody to understand that and fit science and technology in our lives. Today, and the whole of this week, is dedicated for us in Uganda to think about the role of science in development and the difficult challenges for investment on science and technology. Through our collective effort, we confront a very stimulating environment, science-friendly environment, such that everybody will use to appreciate science. Through our collective efforts, we can actually show that governments make decisions based on science, and that science is used as a tool for development and drives our national development agenda. That's very, very important. Now, achieving the development goals, therefore, requires a clear political commitment to make science and technology top in all our agenda. Fortunately enough, in Uganda, science and technology have been taken and put now in the national development, moving in the right direction. Now, for the purpose of this day, I call upon everybody, including the relevant ministries, parastatals, governments, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, schools, and every other person to make sure that we always think about science in Africa. Without science, we are going nowhere. Without science put in practice, we shall not be able to move very, very far. So as young scientists, I know you are the people here. You are the very people who are supposed to move this agenda. Make sure that science, we talk science, we bring science, we communicate science. Let science become part of every of our activities. That's why I really appreciated and immediately when I was confronted to talk about science, and trying to find this in Cafe Scientific, I learned such participating in that business. I moved to Will, where an discussions about how phones work. Because we were interested in is it very good for us to use mobile phones all the time? So I thought so, I think some students and today, also we have some few things to sort here. If you have interest in robotics, one sort of these things in Africa you can do it. I'm among the few Africans who can make robots. You've ever seen some robots. I'm just not maybe because there's some things, but I brought it for the purpose of seeing. So you can see that we can do it. Yes, we can. And by the way, you should also show how we can do it. Yes, we can. How can we? And we must participate in doing it. And that is what is happening. So this let us take science and put science in our lives. And let science begin to dominate what we do. Okay? So lastly, I would like to ask for a very greetings from my executive secretary, who is called Dr. Kevin Muluma, in the Nairobi Secretariat. He actually is asking us to continue to collaborate towards making science and technology, to live in our lives today for a better tomorrow. In conclusion, I would like to invite all of you also to join ATPS. ATPS membership is free. Okay? You find that there are a lot of things. You simply go by the technology is what we do. So you go online, you can register there and become a member. Free. It's very, very important. There are a lot of things to learn. And we have the youth wing. The science agenda cannot be promoted unless people like you are participating in it. Unless socializing science and technology. By making science informal, science becomes a part of what? The social sector. And that's what we want to do. So this is very important for us. We thank Cafe Scientific for actually partnering with us to do what we want to do. So we are working together to set the same agenda. So I thank you for listening, and I urge you to join us in promoting science and technology. Thank you very much.
Okay. That was Mr. Okwanzi, John. And if you heard what he says, I picked one thing. Yes, we can make science a part of us. You want to say it with me? Yes, we can make science a part of us.
Make science a part of us.
Yes, we can make science a part of us. Okay, I hope you all know that. And as of course you know, Cafe Scientific tries to bring science in our daily conversations. So we are very, it's like a brother. ATPS is a brother or sister to us. We are very privileged to be in partnership with them. Next, we will have a skit by the African Youth Forum for Science and Technology, AYFST.
Coming from ATPS, and I'm here to share with you some of the responsibilities that we have as young scientists. Before we take science to society, we need to understand as young scientists what our part to play actually is. Yes, we can, but we need to know how we are going to do it. My name is Mosiah Joshua, and I'm an engineer by profession, telecommunications engineer. I do my research from Chambogo University, and I am an OB of Chambogo College. I saw them here. I'd like to. Now, we know that science has created a public awareness that we are sharing this planet with other living things. And this awareness has also showed us that actually it's our activities that are actually affecting the environment in which we are living. As society is perverted with industrialization, who is there to control and regulate the ecological factors that will affect our sustainable development. We have seen that swamps, ponds, forests are very important over time. But because of the uncontrolled stress and increasing population of our country, we find that some of the mineral resources that we have are being consumed at a rate that we cannot conserve them. We had copper at Chilembe mines very many years back, but at the time we had very few scientists and mathematicians. We could not conserve that copper given the political stresses that were taking place. And today, we cannot mine any copper from Chilembe. Now, we have discovered oil in our country, but we know that oil and natural gases are one of the most causes of greenhouse gases. These are affecting our global climate. Uganda has been the pearl of Africa for some time, but you know that all the ice at our mountain peaks is already melting. And we know that also the temperatures are rising beyond normal in Kampala. This is due to our activities. And as young scientists, we need to know how we are going to help not only our country, but other countries that are surrounding us to try to create an awareness of the global climate change, which is a challenge to us as scientists today. Science and policy making should actually come together. We have organizations like NEMA with environmental impact assessments. We would like you as the youth to understand the importance of the environment. As we carry on research in chemistry, in biotechnology, or any other form of science, we need to understand that the environment that we live in is the one that is supporting our current civilization. As we continue to destroy the environment that we live in, we shall not be able to sustain the development that we have. Now, in the fields of human genetics and gene alteration, virology, we found that actually this research has to be ethical and socially sound, because we have a challenge as scientists with increasing diseases such as cancer. A lot of research is going on in virology, but who is regulating scientists on their activities as they dig up into virology and cancer research? So in other words, as the youth, we need a dynamically stable and sustainable ecological and economic system. Now, I would like to share with you some of the concepts that we have as scientists. That if we have a bottle, I want to relate with you steady growth given a finite source. For example, we have this crisis in energy. We have a crisis. We have a classic case of exponential consumption growth, yet we have a finite source. Our country has trained electrical engineers over the past 60 years, but right now, generators are powering our bigger percentage of our district, our capital city. And our need for energy is growing year by year, but society has not had the field of science to come, and enough research has not been done to conserve some of the resources or to make plans for the future. A small example of the growth given a finite environment. If we have a bottle and we have one bacterium, and this bacterium gives birth to two bacteria every minute. If we start with one, it will produce two and it will become three in the next minute. And each one will produce two in the next minute, and like that. Now, this bacteria is growing steadily in the bottle. It means that if we start at 11 a.m., by 12 noon AM, the bottle is full. But we ask ourselves, at what time was that bottle half full? This bottle was half full at 11:59, just 1 minute to know, because they are doubling every minute. Now, very few of the bacteria would tell at 11:59 that there is actually no chance left for them to survive in this finite environment. Therefore, the growth in net doubling time is greater than the total of all the preceding growth. I'd like to conclude by saying that the role of us scientists is to create an awareness to society that we have a challenge to conserve our environment, as well as plan for the future and to create sustainable development for our future generations. Thank you very much.
And well, he has opened up our minds about many things, the environment, energy concerns, and also made us to imagine, I can't imagine bottling bacteria in a bottle. But these are interesting facts which you should all think about. They are our concerns, and we are the future, and we can do something about it today. That's the good news. So next we'll have the school, Bishop Cipriano, presenting a poem on the theme, but it will be a poem on petroleum and the environment. That is one of our topics, the most popular topic actually. It's very topical now in Uganda, and those students have picked it up. So let us see what they can tell us, and it will also lead us. Remember, we have a cafe in the afternoon, in the mid-morning, about the same. So listen closely and note a few things. Thank you. Teacher Gerard, you're welcome.
Much, Betty. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gerald Muza. I teach physics and maths. I'm one of the speakers in Cafe Scientifique, and the topic I discuss is aliens. However, today we are not here to discuss aliens. I would like to say something about petroleum. Yes, we discovered oil, and it caused quite a lot of excitement, although there are some few issues here and there. Who benefits? That's what most people think about. And few people think about who suffers. Yet it is a fact that there may be a few people to suffer. And a few other things like the environment and the wildlife. So recently there was a cafe with parliamentarians who were in the process of formulating laws about oil. When I was invited, I thought I should put something down to captivate their minds and have them thinking about the various issues. That's when I came up with this poem. So please, we beg you to give us your kind attention. Students.
Are we blessed or cursed to have huge reserves of crude sweeter than honey, of gas purer than gold, of a population without technical expertise? Are we blessed or cursed to have the petroleum in the poorest of regions, among the most forgotten of people, in the wildest of places? Are we blessed or cursed to have companies rushing to sign secret deals, to explore our resources, to employ foreign workers? Are we blessed or cursed to discover this black gold when we are still largely peasants, when we are soon uniting with better placed neighbors, when we still lack national character? Are we blessed or cursed to be on the verge of production without sufficient planning, without adequate sensitization, without alternative solutions? Are we blessed or cursed? Are we blessed or cursed? Are we blessed or cursed?
And students, were we supposed to answer that question? Yeah, sure. So are we blessed or cursed? We don't know. Maybe we are cursed. But I would like to think that we are blessed. Okay, so just tune up for that. That's just the beginning of that cafe. In the afternoon, oil extraction in Uganda, what are the implications to the environment? We'll pick from those students. And the speaker, we have Mr. Hakim Wonge here yet? Okay. He should come. But the moderator is here, Mr. Francis Buemba. So just make sure you tell him that question from the student's poem, are we blessed or cursed? Okay, so there we are almost coming to the close of the first of our opening.